Most bathroom remodel budgets do not fail because someone forgot how to use a calculator. They fail because the number got invented too early. Before anyone separated a refresh from a real remodel, before anyone priced labor, and before anyone made room for the surprises that only show up after work begins. A lot of homeowners start with a number that feels responsible, repeat it a few times, and slowly mistake familiarity for accuracy. If you have $10,000 in your head right now, this is the moment to test whether that number came from reality or from wishful thinking. Homeowners usually start with a comfort number, not a project number. The problem is that bathrooms do not care what number feels comfortable. Start by getting clear about scope. A cosmetic refresh, paint, lighting, mirror, hardware, maybe a vanity or faucet, no wall openings, can sometimes live in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. A mid-range remodel where core fixtures and finishes are replaced but the room largely stays put usually lands more like $15,000 to $25,000. A full gut where the room comes apart and systems may move is $30,000 to $50,000 and can run higher fast. Those are not random jumps. Each tier unlocks a different level of labor, risk, and coordination. This is the part people underestimate. You are not paying only for prettier tile or a nicer vanity. You are paying for demolition, disposal, prep, waterproofing, finish work, scheduling trades, and all the hours that turn a bathroom from exposed framing back into a room you can use. Even small bathrooms are labor-dense because so much has to happen in a tight space in the right order, with almost no room for sloppy work. The budget climbs when work stops being surface level and starts touching the systems and structure that make the room function. When people price a remodel in their head, they often build the budget around what they can see and shop for online. But the bigger line item is usually labor. Tile setters, plumbers, electricians, drywall crews, painters, and installers are what make a bathroom expensive. Materials matter, especially stone, custom glass, or higher-end fixtures. But in most remodels, the money story is less "that faucet cost a lot," and more, "it takes a lot of skilled time to tear this room apart and put it back together correctly." The visible products set the tone of the room, but labor is what determines whether it is durable, safe, and actually finished well. Here is the line. Homeowners resist right before they prove why it matters. Add a 20% contingency and treat it as untouchable until the job gives you a reason. If your working budget is $20,000, be prepared for 24. Not because contractors are sneaky, but because bathrooms hide risk in a very small footprint. A subfloor can be soft. Old plumbing can be wrong. Waterproofing can be missing. The contingency is not a reserve for upgrades. It is what keeps one bad discovery from turning the whole project into a cash crisis. Without it, every surprise becomes a forced decision made under stress. And those are usually the most expensive decisions of the whole remodel. The expensive part is often not the thing you picked. It is the thing the wall was covering. Hidden costs usually come from three places. First, permits and inspections, which can stack onto design changes, plan review, and compliance work. Second, structural or water damage surprises once finishes come off, and you can finally see what has been leaking, sagging, or failing quietly for years. Third, plumbing rerouting, which sounds simple until drain locations, venting, or joist paths. Force more labor than the new layout looked like on paper. These are the costs that make a tight budget collapse, because they arrive after the project is already underway and emotionally committed. By then, the homeowner is no longer deciding whether to remodel. They are deciding how to keep an active remodel from stalling out. When contractors say, "we won't know until we open it up," they are usually not being vague. They mean the visible bathroom might be hiding outdated supply lines, patchwork wiring, mold, unlevel framing, weak subfloor, or an old repair that only lasted because nobody touched it again. Once the wall opens, a problem that was invisible yesterday can become completely obvious and completely billable today. That phrase is shorthand for uncertainty becoming visible all at once. If the numbers are getting away from you, prioritize in the right order. Protect the things that are expensive to redo later: waterproofing, ventilation, plumbing quality, electrical safety, and the core layout if the current one truly does not work. Be willing to downgrade things that are easiest to upgrade later: mirrors, lighting style, hardware, accessories, or an aspirational tile choice. Keep the bones solid and the room functional, even if the finish package becomes less exciting. Homeowners get into trouble when they preserve visible luxuries and squeeze invisible essentials. A realistic budget is not just smaller spending, it is disciplined spending in the places that matter most. A bathroom budget becomes realistic the moment you stop asking what you hope it costs and start asking what this scope, this labor, and this risk actually require. If you can price the job by tier, protect a real contingency, and cut in the right places when needed, you are budgeting like a homeowner who understands renovation, not one who is about to be surprised by it.